back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my first trimester, the first 13 weeks. So let me start off by saying that I did find out I was pregnant. Well, that's what they told me, that I found out I was pregnant at 5 weeks. I was 5 weeks and like 2-3 days. That's what the nurse told me when I first went in. But then turns out that I was actually less than that because they changed my due date a couple times. They changed it about 2-3 times. They were looking how the baby was and they were trying to estimate the right time that I was. With the due date that they ended up giving me, turns out that when I actually found out, I was only 3 weeks. So it was really early on when I found out. So I found out really early. And like I said before in my previous video, I found out because I was 6 days late on my period. So I didn't really have any side effects that made me think that, or symptoms that made me think that I was pregnant. It was just that my period was 6 days late and I just took a test to see if I was pregnant or not. But the first symptoms that I did start noticing after I took the pregnancy test at the doctor's was my breasts. My breasts were really sore. They were really hurting. And I just remember I felt them bigger than usual. I just felt them growing, and that was one thing that I was like, oh my god, they were really sore. So I was working at the beginning of my pregnancy. I work in a school, so I was working Monday through Friday. I had to wake up early in the morning. I would go in at about 8 in the morning and I would come out about 6 p.m. because I did work for the after school program as well. So I had basically 2 jobs, and Tuesdays and Thursdays I was going to school, so I had really long days. So I would go to school after work. I would come out of school I would go to school from 6:50 to 9 p.m. So I was getting home really late. I was feeling super tired. I remember being at work for my second job for the after school program, and around 4 p.m. I would get super duper sleepy. I was just like, oh, I want to be home. Like, I want to be sleeping. I just couldn't wait to be home already and just be able to take a nap. I couldn't take naps. I literally had to just work all day. I just felt tired, I guess. Really tired. And they did end up closing the schools when I was about 6 weeks. So I was able to stay home for the rest of the time. In the beginning, I honestly didn't think they were gonna end up closing the schools, but as time went on, it got more serious. And honestly, I thought it better for me because, you know, for the health of the baby, for the health of me, others, the kids at the school, I would have rather stayed home. So I remember my mom was telling me like, vos bien suertuda porque vas a pasar todo tu embarazo en la casa. Like, she was telling me how lucky I was because I was just gonna be home on my pregnancy. But then again, I was like, is that I'm really lucky? Because honestly, the first trimester I did not do anything at all. Like, I didn't exercise. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I did not exercise at all. I was just enjoying it. I was enjoying the fact that I was pregnant. Just enjoying every moment, honestly. And I did not exercise at all. I honestly wish I would have. But then again, I was happy. Like, I was just enjoying every bit of it, like I said. But I did work, so I was feeling tired. I was sleepy. One thing I was really lucky with was that I did not get nausea at all. I had no morning sickness whatsoever. And if I did maybe throw up, like one time that I could remember, that was the only time I threw up, was one time I was brushing my teeth in the morning and I was just like, it was just a reflex. Like, I wanted to gag and I almost threw up, but that was basically it. I never threw up. I never felt like throwing up. The only thing that I couldn't stand the smell of was chicken. I could not stand the smell of chicken at all. Or even looking at the chicken, I was like, oh, like, no, I could not. It was like that food aversion that they say, that it's just so sudden. Like, you could, from one day to another, like, I just couldn't stand it anymore. And then another thing is, there's these meatballs that we used to buy at Costco with Kevin, and I could not stand the smell of them at all. Like, I just couldn't stand the smell. I remember we cooked them one time and I was just like, like, I had to open the windows in the house, the door, I had to put the AC on. Like, I honestly could not stand the smell. I couldn't at all. So that was one thing. I couldn't stand chicken. I couldn't stand the smell of those meatballs. And then first thing in the morning, I had to just get up and brush my teeth. Like, honestly, as soon as I would wake up, I had to go brush my teeth because I couldn't stand the sensation of my mouth being dirty, or like I just couldn't stand my mouth being dirty in the morning. So I honestly just, as soon as I woke up, like I couldn't even stay in bed for like a couple minutes and just like, you know, stay for a bit. No, I had to get up and go brush my teeth because I just felt nasty. Like I had to go brush my teeth ASAP. Then I started noticing that I was feeling super duper bloated. My stomach was just so big. Like I was like, honestly was enjoying it because I was like, oh, I have a baby bump. Like not really, it was not no baby bump. Like I was just super duper bloated after I would eat, or just like throughout the day as it got later. I just felt my stomach so big. Like it honestly felt super duper bloated. A little bit uncomfortable, honestly, but I was, like I said, I was enjoying the little bump. I was like, oh, I'm pregnant. Like it's the baby. No, I was actually just bloated. But I was starting to get cramps, and I would sometimes worry about, but then I started Googling and I would read about it, or then I asked the doctor, and they said it was fine to not stress about it. They explained to me that that was just my uterus growing, that it was just my body was getting used to the baby growing as well, so I was gonna get cramps. So I was feeling like a little bit of they could relate like to period cramps. Like they weren't that painful, but I would get cramps here and there, and I would like just overthink things, you know. But that was the last thing I wanted to do, honestly, like just overthink if the baby was okay. Like I always just thought so positive, like God is taking care of the baby, you know, everything's in God's hands. And I would just pray for everything to be okay, for the baby to be healthy. I was just hoping for the best. So I honestly never tried to ever think that something was wrong. So I was getting those cramps, and I honestly didn't have any cravings. Like people would always ask me like, are you craving anything? And I was like, no, I don't really crave anything yet. There wasn't anything in specific that I was like really craving or like I really needed to have. Like no, there wasn't anything much. Another thing I noticed was that I just couldn't eat leftovers. Like if there was something that I already ate, I couldn't eat it again. Like it was just, it didn't seem that appetizing to me anymore. I just didn't crave it at all. So that was another thing. And the first time I did see the baby after my pregnancy test, so the first appointment was my pregnancy test. The second appointment, I was able to go speak to a nurse, and they took my blood pressure. They gave me the glucose test, and they were able to give me a little ultrasound. Luckily, in that time, Kevin and my mom were able to go in there with me, so they were able to see the baby. The baby was really, really tiny. It was like a poppy seed. We weren't able to hear the baby's heartbeat because the baby was too small yet. So the doctor said maybe in a couple of weeks for my next visit. But we were able to see the baby's heartbeat flutter. So we did get to see that. So that was exciting. I didn't get to record it because that appointment was super fast. Honestly, didn't like the doctor's vibe. For it being my first time, I expected the doctor to be more you know, more exciting, and just like it was a good happy time, you know. She was just like, oh, I had told my mom, can you please record it? And she's like, to make sure that she didn't come out in the video and this and that. And I was just like, nobody wants to record you, like we want to record the baby. But she did the ultrasound so quick, and I honestly think she did that on purpose so that we wouldn't get like a video or anything. So it was literally like maybe 5 seconds or less that she did the ultrasound. Like Kevin couldn't even get a view of it that good, but I did get to see the baby's heart flutter. So that was super exciting, and I was just, that made me feel so happy. Like just seeing that there was a little life growing inside of me. Like I honestly would wake up every morning just still in shock. Like that whole first trimester, I was just in shock still. Like I couldn't believe that, you know, there was a life growing inside of me, that God had blessed me with this blessing. Like that first trimester, I was just still taking everything in and like processing everything and enjoying everything with my family, that I was finally pregnant. So then the third appointment, because that was the second appointment. So the third appointment was when I was at 10 weeks. So in that appointment, I did get to see the baby's heartbeat, and I got to hear the baby's heartbeat. It was so cute because you were able to see the baby's little arms and the baby's legs. It was just so cute. I honestly wish that Kevin would have gone with me, that he would have been able to go with me, but with the whole coronavirus, they just didn't let him in, and it was that really sucked because it's our first pregnancy, and for him not to be able to be there with me, I was just sad. Like, and I knew that he was sad too. Honestly, like every time I go to the doctor and I have an appointment, I don't like to make him feel bad, you know, because he can't be there and he's not experiencing that same feeling of being able to see his baby, because he always takes me, and I know he wants to be a part of it too, and that's being taken away from him right now because of the situation we're in. But hopefully, I'm really hoping that he can at least be there with me when the time comes for me to give birth. So I'm really hoping for that. But so far, I've been the only one that's able to see the baby. Like, luckily, I've been able to record the ultrasounds, but other than that, yeah, I'm the only one. So as soon as I get out of the doctor appointment, I just send out the video to my mom, his parents, my dad, and I just share that with them because that's the only thing they could be a part of. I can't take none of them to the appointments so they could experience that. But I know they're also so excited. I'll be putting a little clip of the first ultrasound I had so you guys can see too.
Okay, so let's look now. So this is the head.
Okay.
These are the hands, here and here. So as I move it back and forth, you can kind of see, you see like little knuckles?
Yeah.
So we come in here, and here's the chest, and here's the rest of the body, and then you got legs here.
Okay. Oh, are they crossed?
You see the legs?
Yeah.
You see those little dots down there?
Yeah.
Those are toes.
Oh.
Yes, they are definitely, they're crossed right there at the ankle.
Mm.
You see the knee?
Yeah.
Right there.
Mm.
You see the two little hands?
Yeah.
And you see all the little lines there?
And it's so crazy because I was just, during the appointment, I was just enjoying being able to see my baby. The baby was moving so much, like listening to the heartbeat for the first time. It was so beautiful. It was just such a beautiful experience. But then when I got back home and I showed Kevin, he ended up pointing out in the video that as soon as the ultrasound started, that you could see the baby's arm like waving high, and he was like, "Look, babe, he's saying hi to you. The baby's saying hi to you." So I was oh my god, I started crying when he told me that. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, then I saw the video over and over again, and yeah, the baby was waving. Like, if the baby knew that I was looking at the baby for the first time. It was so crazy. Literally, I'll show you guys the video, but I was so happy. He was so happy that he was at least able to see a video of the baby, the ultrasound. I did get some pictures too to share with him, but it's not the same as him being in the room with me. But I do remember for the first trimester, I started downloading some apps that would track the measurements of the baby, or it would tell me facts about that week. So I remember looking at every single week. Like, I was like, oh my god, time is going by so slow. Like, the baby's so tiny. I would just look at every single week, and I would look every day. Like, I would go weeks ahead and be like, oh my god, in a couple weeks the baby's gonna be this big, and this is gonna be going on. Like, the baby's gonna start growing the little toes and the little fingers and this and that. So I remember just looking at that all the time and just like wanting it to already happen. Little did I know, like, time just went so fast. Like, now that I'm 24 weeks, I honestly feel like time has gone so fast. I was really thinking like time was going slow, and look at it now. Like time has flown by. I honestly feel like it's going by super fast. I'm already 24 weeks. Like I feel like once I hit 30, it's just gonna fly by. But you know, who knows how I'm gonna be feeling at that time. But yeah, I'm super duper excited. I'm so happy. And that was my experience for the first trimester. I honestly didn't get like really bad symptoms like some women get. I know some women like have really bad nausea and like they can't even get up sometimes. They really feel like exhausted and just like, honestly, I didn't feel like that at all. I'm so thankful. My mom did scare me because she was like, my mom and my grandma actually, because they would always tell me that for their pregnancies they had it really really bad. They were always throwing up, so I was expecting the worst for my pregnancy. I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna be throwing up all the time, like I'm gonna feel like crap, like it's gonna be so bad. But honestly, it was the total opposite. Like I felt so good. I was happy all the time. The only thing is I wish I would have been able to take naps in the afternoon when I was working, but after that I was honestly just enjoying it. I was home all day. You know, we were in quarantine, so I was just being lazy, honestly, just home all day. I would work from home, so it wasn't, I didn't have it as bad as they did. But I remember his mama also telling me like, no, maybe you're different, like maybe it won't go that way for you. So I was really lucky to have it, you know, easy. But yeah, that was my experience for the first trimester. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.